let's get to this story real quick. Another tale of another goddamn hyena. Let's go.
This is Untold Mysteries. David Darnell Carter was described to be funny, hardworking, loving, and serious, which is why when David didn't show up to work, his family began to worry. This mystery takes place in Melvindale, Michigan. At the age of 39, David Carter was working at a manufacturing plant and owned his own clothing line called Lavish Habits Unlimited. David started dating Samaya Connor when they were just 9 years old. They later went on to have a son together, named David DJ Carter Jr. David and Samaya were together 14 years before deciding it was best to co-parent their son apart. David went on to date around, but never anything too serious. That is until David met Tammy Williams in March of 2018.
Now, I want y'all to take notice. This is an everyday brother. This isn't some salacious celebrity story. I'm going to start talking about these Snapped and Deadly Women episodes a lot more. I think I said it at the top of the broadcast. Snapped has 32 seasons, 10 to 20 something episodes apiece. 90-something% of the episodes focus on women. How many times does this happen? They're not all black women, but I'm just saying, just focus on the women. 90% of the show is based around women. How often does this happen? That it isn't talked about because it's not celebrity news. It is, Chantel. It's crazy. So think about, and this is why I say everybody talks about how crazy men are, black men in particular. But if you have shows that are based solely on deleting different people, the deletion of people by women that delete people, it's not just the show Snapped. There's another show called Deadly Women. I think there's another one called Women Who Kill. You got 2 to 3 shows. Like I just said, Snapped has 32 seasons. I just found that out. 10 to 20 something episodes apiece. How many women are out here deleting folks? But wait, it gets worse. I'm gonna let it keep playing. It's a reason I just played that soundbite.
Tamara Williams and David Carter met at a mutual friend's birthday party. And from that day forward, they were stuck together like glue. Tamara Williams worked at Detroit Medical Center and also as a travel agent.
Another nurse.
While dating, people stated the couple seemed happy together. David and Tamara were together 6 months before people started to notice things were becoming strange between the two. On September 28, 2018, David attended his son's football game with Tamara and family. Family noticed that Tamara seemed angry during the game and noticed over time Tamara was becoming very possessive over David. On September 30th, a coworker noticed David didn't show up to work and immediately called his sister, Tasia Carter. Knowing this was strange, Tasia called and texted her brother, but never received a response. DJ also asked his mother, Samaya, to text David and got a strange response stating he was sick and that he didn't think it was best to come over.
What's good, TikTok? Have y'all heard of this, man? My father.
This is his actual son. His son he's a resilient young man. I'm gonna let him explain himself, but this is his actual son that's an adult now.
David Carter Sr. and my dad's ex-girlfriend, Tamara Williams. So, in 2018, in October, it was a regular weekend, and on Sunday, I was supposed to go to my dad's house and go to school from there. I didn't end up going there because, my dad texted my mom saying that he was feeling really sick and he didn't want the kids to be around. So she said that it was cool, whatever. So we ended up going to my grandma's house, right? So which was cool with me. So I told her I need to go to my dad's and grab a few things that I forgot over there before we go. So we ended up getting to my dad's, and I see Tamara walking to the trash can, and I said hey to her, but she just took off running back to my dad's apartment, and I thought it was weird, so I was like, whatever. So I just parked the car, got out, and went up to his door. So as I went to his door, the door was locked. So I was like, I thought she saw me. I unlocked the door, I go in, and when I went in, she popped up in my face, was like, hey, David, what's going on? Like, what you doing here and stuff like that? I was like, yeah, I just came here because I forgot a few things, you know what I'm saying, before I go to my grandma's. She was like, okay, all right, cool. So I walk around, see if I can find it, you know, I go in my room, his clothes is on my bed, which is weird, he's a neat freak. I'm still walking around going to the bathroom, couldn't find it, but she ended up closing his bathroom door, so I was like, okay. His bedroom door was closed, so I'm like, okay, you know. But mind you, it's a regular day for me, I'm not thinking of nothing crazy. I couldn't find what I needed, so I just leave.
Later that day, DJ returned back to his...
Notice what he said about his pops. He gets there, and I really want y'all to go watch this is just going to be a short clip. I really want y'all to go watch the Netflix Unsolved Mystery episode. Of course, they get into more details. I'm going to give to, spoiler alert, I'm going to give them to you here, but they did a good job with this episode, unfortunately. But you can hear the young man talk. He goes over there because he forgot something in his pop's house. The chick is taking something out to the trash. She doesn't speak to him, takes it to the trash, and then runs back past him to beat him upstairs, possibly to close all these doors. He goes in there, sees things not crazy disorganized, but his pops is a neat freak. His pop's clothes are on his bed. Thinks it's weird. Again, these are red flags, right? But nothing, we haven't walked in to a house or walked into our mama's house and be like, she normally don't keep this chair over here, or something just out of place, but nothing to be like, hey, spidey sense going off, something's wrong, right? So he leaves. Let's continue.
Father's apartment with his mother, Tasia, and his grandfather, Elton Carter Sr. When they arrived, they knew something was wrong immediately when they noticed the house was cluttered and in a disarray.
Now it's cluttered. Things aren't just out of place. His clothes aren't just on the bed. I know I stopped it again real quick, but really want y'all to pay attention to how they're piecing this together. Now something's really wrong because he's not picking up, and he got back. Somebody got responded to in a text that didn't sound like how he texts, how he speaks. Little things like that, brothers. Please start paying attention to that. Women with men in the family, pay attention to stuff like that. And it could be on the other side where something could happen to a woman and it's from a male spouse or counterpart, partner, whatever the case. But pay attention to those little things.
Samaya went into David's room and was shocked to see bloodstains on the mattress. There was also a noticeable bullet hole near the top of the mattress. Tasia Carter quickly went to the Melvindale Police Department to file a missing persons report for her brother.
David Carter hasn't been seen since Sunday.
Tonight, his family is worried and believes he may be in danger. Today, police searched around Carter's apartment complex on Gale Boulevard in Melvindale. 7 Action News reporter Allie Hoxie is in the newsroom now with his family's plea for help. Allie.
That's right. Like you said, the family hasn't spoken to him since Sunday. Major concerns because they say this is very out of the ordinary.
It's just not like my brother.
David Carter's sister, Tasia Jackson, says she got a call from her brother's work, letting her know he hasn't been in all week.
I tried calling him, phone going to the voicemail.
Tasia says the last time anyone in the family has spoken to David is on Sunday. She says she tried going to his apartment and the door was open, but there was no sign of David. Police tell 7 Action News they started searching David's apartment yesterday. The search of the apartment continued today with the help of state police, causing the family to worry even more.
State police is there at the apartment with the backhoes to check out the dumpsters or whatever. So that's how I know it's an active crime scene.
Now this family is just looking.
Yeah, Melvindale, Michigan, somewhere up that way. Theo, shout out to you, brother.
For answers to bring this father home to his son.
At this point, we just want my brother. We just want him. We want him. We need to see him. So at this point, we just want my brother.
The family is urging anyone with information to give a call to police. Allie Hoxie, 7 Action News.
On October 1st, 2018, Melvindale police were contacted about a body that was found off of I-75 in Ohio. David Carter's lower torso was found wrapped in a sleeping bag. The family mourned when they found out that the loving father was confirmed to be murdered.
Breaking news now as the search for a missing man from Melvindale comes to a tragic end. David Carter seemingly vanished Sunday, but tonight his body has been found. 7 Action News reporter Allie Hoxie just talked to his family, joins us live from Melvindale with more. Allie?
Well, David Carter's father says that the police chief asked him to meet here at the Melvindale Police Department around 4:30 this afternoon, and when he got here, he got the heartbreaking news that his son is dead.
They told me that he was gone, and it got to me.
16-year-old David Carter Jr. says he and his father were like best friends. They used to go to the movies and go bowling together, something he'll never be able to do with his father again.
My father has always been there for me, like always, no matter what is going on. But for this to happen to him and not be with us today, or for the rest of our lives, it's going to hurt us.
This afternoon, Melvindale police searched David Carter's apartment with the help of state police. We are told police were also at the apartment yesterday. We have yet to hear from investigators if this is a homicide investigation.
On October 8th, 2018, Tamara was arrested and quickly released for the murder of David Carter. Due to lack of evidence and a still ongoing case, police could not hold her longer than 72 hours.
I'm gonna pause it there real quick. Y'all heard what they just said. They arrested her, couldn't hold her longer than 72 hours, lack of evidence. But she has a key to the apartment. You know, they can give a rough estimate of time of death, which was around when the son went by there the day after. So his body wouldn't have started stinking or anything like that. So it wouldn't have been nothing to alarm the young man. So he goes, thinks, you know, his pops is in the room, maybe sleep or something like that. And in the Netflix special, he said, they go into more detail, of course, but he said, I started to go in the room, but something told me not to go in the room. And I felt guilty before, but I'm glad I didn't go in the room because then she may have done something to me. So the young man leaves. When they do go back to the apartment, the news station was just telling that part. When the family goes back to the apartment, the sister said it was like a pink reddish blood stain up under the bed, and she could tell that the bed had been kind of moved to try to cover that up. If you walk in the room, you wouldn't immediately see it unless you got down on your knees like you were looking up under the bed. And she could tell the bed had been moved because it was carpet in the room. So there were indentions in the carpet from where the bedpost was. There was a bullet hole in the wall. The girlfriend has the key to the apartment. So the sister eventually said she believes that she went in, shot him in his sleep, and then dismembered his body. I don't know if y'all caught that. They were able to identify his body because they found the lower half of his torso first. And they identified it again. They get into it in the Netflix special, but they identified his body from a tattoo that he had on his leg. I'm gonna let them keep on cooking, but you see, they didn't hold her. The system gonna system. They would have figured out a way to hold a man. A lot of times we see it, but I'm gonna let it keep on going. Then I promise you, it's gonna wrap. I'm gonna get over to y'all comments. Then I'm gonna open up the chat if y'all want to cam up.
2 days later, after her arrest, on October 10th, a second part of David's body was found. This time, police discovered his head wrapped in grocery bags along I-75. October 16th, the third and final remains of David's body were found in a small flour suitcase. Police were able to recover his upper torso. The Lucas County Coroner's Office reported that the dismemberment of David's body appeared to be done with a kitchen knife. The cause of death was stated to be a gunshot wound. The bullet went underneath David's right ear, through the top of his skull. The coroner also stated David had traces of sleeping pills in his system at the time of his death. By October 16, 2018, Tamara Williams had fled Melvindale, Michigan.
For someone to be able to meet a family and come and spend time with you, and celebrations.
For the first time since the murder of 39-year-old David Carter, police are revealing that this is the woman they're confident is responsible. 39-year-old Tamara Williams.
She was very, very obsessive over my brother.
Tammy was David's girlfriend of 6 months with no criminal history. David's family says Tammy was always by David's side. That is, until he disappeared at the beginning of October.
What Tammy did to her boyfriend at the time, David, is just horrible. It's brutal. This is not, a normal person doing these. She did it to somebody she loved. Who knows what she's going to do in the future.
And police say as soon as she got wind police were onto her, Tammy took off.
Tamara was first spotted in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where she ate, made cash withdrawals, and took a train to Chicago. She then ended up in Penn Station, New York, when police lost her trace after she was seen leaving the Neptune Hotel. Tamara would be 42 years old today. She is said to have ties to Freemasons, and with her experience working as a travel agent, she knows her way around. Tamara's mother worked for several years as the treasurer for the Detroit Fire Department. In September 2021, charges were brought against Verdine Day for possibly stealing over $200,000 from her union. Interestingly enough, a large portion was used for travel after discovering Verdine had attended several cruise ships.
I'm just very excited about it.
That's Verdine Day being recognized for her work in the city of Detroit. If you know the Detroit Fire Department, you know Verdine Day. Not only was Day the department's first female fire engine driver, her heart stood out to the men and women of the fire department. Almost immediately, word spread that after Verdine Day retired, lots of money at the firefighters union was missing. Now we know how much. Federal prosecutors today not only charged with Day breaking the trust of the firefighters who trusted her with their union dues, Day was hit with federal bank and wire fraud charges for allegedly pocketing more than $160,000 in dues. Prosecutors say she wrote checks to herself for cash and for allegedly using a union credit card, racking up more than $52,000 in charges for cruises, casino bar bills, and restaurants.
Verdine Day is also the mother of wanted fugitive Tamara Williams. Now, Williams has been on the run since 2018 for the murder of her former boyfriend, David Carter, from Melvindale. Police say that Williams killed Carter, chopped his body into pieces, stuffed those pieces into a sleeping bag, and dumped the remains on the side of I-75 in Ohio. And the U.S. Marshals want you to call this number if you have any information, 313-202-6458.
So another thing, so my dad had a clothing brand, and of course, since he was taken away, somebody had to take over. So I ended up taking it over, and it's going great. When I first started, I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But I just took over because it's something that he really loves, something he always wanted to do, something he wanted to continue. So I'm gonna continue it for him. And so yeah, man, if you guys want to support the brand as well, the story is on there. If you guys want to just follow along with the story, stick with the brand, you know what I'm saying?
David Carter loved his family, being a father, and working hard to succeed. Today, his son continues his business and keeps his father's name alive until he receives justice.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
But wait, it gets worse!
To answer Blood Crow's question, yep, she is still on the run. This was roughly around 2018. In that pocket, she's still on the run. I think she left Michigan, went to Ohio, crossed state lines again, made it to New York, stayed at a hotel. Last time she was seen was on a camera that's across from the hotel she was in, some seedy hotel in New York, and just disappeared. And y'all heard she got connections to Freemasons, and her previous experience as a travel agent. She could be moving around. I hope the brothers of the lodge ain't housing this bitch. I know I said I was gonna start calling women hyenas, but not this bitch. She need to rot in hell. Let me put some more context to it.
Wait, it gets worse.
Y'all saw bro pictures, right? Like the average everyday brother. This is why I be stressing this stuff. I like taking the celebrity stuff and bringing it down to day-to-day people. But I'm gonna start doing more of these a snap, because we don't take this stuff serious. In the Netflix special, his family was saying how he would, make jokes like we do as men, like other people do about our relationships when we got a clingy girlfriend. Man, let me go ahead and slide back over here before my ball and chain, before my tether start looking for me. Key, giggle, giggle, giggle. But you heard the sister. She was very possessive and obsessive about my brother. She would say, like, they have family functions, and you know how the man might be in one room watching football, the women will be in another room chatting it up or whatever. She would get up and just at least go peek her head in the door while they're in there watching football or something, just to make sure David was in place. More context. Stop thinking that because you're bigger and stronger as a man. That's why I don't adhere to a lot of this bullshit that a lot of people say about, oh, these men ain't got no reason to be scared. What woman's stronger than a man? You should never put your hands on a woman. I'm not saying be abusive, but these women are very cunning. Now, he got traces of some type of sleeping aid in his system. Ain't no telling if they were chilling. She had already had this planned out, so he's relaxed with her. Babe, you want a drink? All right, cool. We don't know. But we do know from the angle of the bullet, he would hit right up under the right ear, they said, and had a bullet hole in the wall. 9 times out of 10, and his blood up under the bed. She probably slid him while he was asleep. Because you know why? David was like 6'4". 6'4", 190. Y'all remember the white girl, Jodi Arias, that cut her boyfriend's throat some years ago? Little skinny, scrawny white girl with the glasses in court looking unassuming. But she got in that man's house by squeezing herself through the damn pet door. That's how small she was. And people swore that she couldn't have got the drop on him, but he was killed in the shower. Probably unexpected. Windows steamy, whatever. Hit him in the neck once, you gonna bleed out. And then cut his throat so damn deep, she almost decapitated that man. Little scrawny ass white girl. Don't tell me what the fuck women aren't capable of doing, even physically. This brother was, again, 190, 6'4". So now she's done the deed. So what is she thinking? How am I get him out of here? The coroner, she goes into more detail, basically. But on the Netflix special, in order for her to cut him in half, literally cut him at his torso, at his waist, because remember, they found his waist first, waist down first. Then they found his head. Then they found his upper torso. She had to use a kitchen knife. Do you know how much time she would have had to take to do that? That was intentional. 9 times out of 10, to saw, she used a steak knife because it's serrated like a saw. Never any other criminal charges before, none of that shit. Been together since 6 months. Another detail. His son's mom, all them, him, his son's mom, and the chick that deleted him, Tamara, they all went to school together. They all went to high school together. They all knew each other. As they said, him and the baby mama eventually break up. Him and Tamara end up meeting up later on. Oh shit, I ain't seen you in a while, blah, blah, blah. Kick it. Y'all know how shit go. Boom. Now they together. 6 months and his brother gone. Deliberately cuts him in half with a steak knife. Throws his body on the highway. takes the other part of his body out in a suitcase, probably a rolling suitcase, but wouldn't nobody suspect nothing. And now she's on the run. Police arrest her, but can't keep her past 7 because we can't figure this one out. The fact there was blood in that apartment and a man would have had the key and a woman would have came up missing, that brother would still be sitting in jail until they figured it out. You know how many brothers just on hold for something? They're going to figure it out. They're going to hold you for something. If it's a parking ticket,